boys to old Satan stands impressed. And here it is, our final night alive, as the earth burns to the ground. Oh girl, it's you that arrives.
Welcome back, everybody, to the We're Just Talking podcast. Got Mariel. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us again. How's it going, man? How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been an eventful weekend. I actually basically kind of started Friday, because I know before I was kind of confused on whether I was going to be getting released early, if I was going to be off on a Monday. So I actually got released early on Friday and had Monday off. So it's a little longer weekend.
Released early from work, you're saying, right?
Yes. Sorry. Yeah, for people who don't know, not
Released
from
early.
prison. Not from prison. I didn't get out early from prison. But no, yeah, I got released from work early. The boss actually said, the manager, we were supposed to get off like at 2, and then he found out that every other manager was letting everybody else off at 12.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, all right, well, you can get off at 1 to 2, which I don't know why anybody would choose 2.
Yeah.
You can choose 1 to 2. And then but then when I was there in the office, he was making it seem like you should take your lunch at 12, so that way you're off at 12. So pretty much that's what I did.
Interesting. So you were done at 12.
I was done at 12 on Friday, and so I was only there for a few hours, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I actually didn't even go in the office. I was online, so it's like I woke up and then I think, and everybody was like in the mood. Like a bunch of people had already taken vacation days off and stuff. So I'm just learning. I'm learning what it's like to be grown up and what people are doing and how they have these things planned out.
How to finesse the system.
Yeah, they definitely were finessing the system. I heard the manager was talking about he had to drive to another state. So he's like, well, last time I went, I noticed that I had cell service. So he was gonna put it on his hotspot and be in the meetings all day while he was driving, and so that way he didn't have to take the PTO, I guess, or take any type of vacation day, which I thought was crazy. So he left Friday. I just thought those things were funny. But yeah. So,
hey man, as you get older, it's all about, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, how do I get the most the things that make you the most happy, or like finessing a candy bar out of your parents, or getting like a good Christmas gift, and then you're an adult and it's like, oh, how do I charge this on my health insurance, or how do I get an extra vacation day?
Yeah, which I thought was funny. But other than that, I mean, it was a good weekend. I felt like it went by fast and I didn't do too much. I of course had 4th of July, which I can sort of get into. But how was your weekend? I know that's like the big thing everybody wants to hear about.
It was good. I thought I was gonna do 4th of July a bit more than I did, but then I saw some fireworks here in Queens where I live on the 28th of June. And it was like a 35-minute show, and I had really good seats, and so that kind of fed my firework interest. And so when the weekend came along, I was just doing other stuff, and it was good. I went to a baseball game on Saturday, Mets Yankees.
Okay.
And that was a really good time. So yeah, it was awesome. Fireworks were, I mean, I regret not going to the fireworks, because on TV, the Macy's fireworks were insane. So
really, and the way you made it seem last time, I was like, oh, it was just the Macy's fireworks, like it's whatever.
Yeah, no, this year they went all in this year, and so I finally, after seeing like some local fireworks for like 10 minutes, I come to the TV set, and we're watching, and they have like 5 barges on the East River, and they're just going at it. They have a choir in front.
Oh, wow.
It's absurd.
That's crazy. How was the Mets game?
It was awesome, and anytime we win, that's good. But it was good because that was the first time I was with the other fans for the most. Well, I mean, other fans nearby.
Yeah.
It was
I saw this was the game, right? That it was like Yankees and Mets, right? You said,
this was
what's it called?
The Subway Series.
Subway, yeah. So there's different people from different parts of New York who were supporting. was everybody from New York, but all just supporting two different teams, which I think is kind of funny, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Yankee fans are mostly probably, if I had to guess, Manhattan and the Bronx geographically
Yeah,
are predominant. Like those two boroughs are predominantly Yankee fans, and then Brooklyn and Queens are predominantly in Staten Island are predominantly Met fans. If I had to guess, like the geographic
yeah.
map, I could, there's
What's
obviously
this?
there's in between, but
What's the stadium do you guys use?
we have two different ones, so it's not like football
Yeah.
where we share one. So we have in the
Okay,
Bronx
yeah.
is Yankee Stadiums. So the one we went to was in the Bronx. That was in Yankee Stadium, and then the Mets have Citi Field in Queens.
City Field in Queens. City Field smaller than the the one in the Bronx.
No, Yankee Stadium is probably smaller because they hit a lot of home runs there.
The way I feel like the Mets is like the way you have was it the Brooklyn? You have the New York Knicks, and then you'll have like the Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn Nets. So you think it's like
Yeah,
little brother?
yeah, that's what it seems like sometimes.
No. I mean, historically, in terms of winning, yeah, the Yankees have obviously been a more successful franchise, but no, they're pretty equal in terms of especially now the Mets just got a new owner, so and he's the richest owner in baseball. So it's
Hmm.
yeah,
In baseball, though, everybody richest
level
person in
playing field.
baseball. Well, baseball makes a lot of money. That's
Whoa,
the thing about it.
he'd also be the richest owner in the NFL too.
He's the richest owner also. If you were to have
Like
him
he
in
would be, yeah, but basketball too. So he's
also, he has like a lot of money then.
13 billion, I think is
Yeah,
his
well, I said that and I was like, wait a second. I know that the MLB has a lot of money in general,
yeah.
uh, and like players get paid a lot, and I don't know where they're getting all their money from. Uh,
Yeah. I mean, TV is the vast majority of it, but um, I'm waiting for Jeff Bezos to buy if he makes it back from space. If he makes it back, he'll probably.
yeah,
Jeez, I wouldn't do that. What do you think about these two billionaires going up?
these what?
What do you think of Bezos and Richard Branson, the two billionaires
Oh,
going up to
honestly,
space?
honestly, I was watching a TikTok. I guess it's not too much related to them, but I was watching a TikTok where I like someone was packing stuff for Amazon, and they
Mhm.
were yelling like about their break. Like they had like if you want to take your break, like you need to take your now. Like you can't go late. I forgot it was something kind of crazy and like the way they were being treated. And I was like,
Like working conditions, you mean?
like working conditions, yeah. And
Yeah, probably.
I will say that I have tried Amazon. I went to Amazon. I worked a day at the doing like a was it
The fulfillment center.
warehouse work. I did like warehouse work. I only did one day and I quit. And it was right before I got my first development job, and so I was like, I need to make some money somehow.
Would you say that it sucked?
But yeah, I would say that it was crazy. I felt like I should have recorded secretly the way that stuff was done. But yeah, I went one day and I think it was probably one of the worst jobs I can say. Literally, I can say I've had, um, just because the amount of like physical work that they make you do, but also like it's very like the conditions in there it's true when they say like people are not exaggerating. Like there is no, oh, I got to use a restroom. Like you shouldn't use a restroom, and you're like assigned basically like a little scanner thing. And for
Yeah.
what I was doing, mine was a little bit different. Like there's of course people who are like sorting and doing different things, but mine was like I had to get these boxes off the pallets and then move
Yeah.
them into like shelving shelves, and those shelves were just made to hold all these boxes,
Hmm.
and then you would scan where you put it on the shelf, and so that way whoever needed to come and get it right would just go to that
Hmm.
area wherever shelves. But like I said, it was a
Yeah.
lot, and your scanner I guess tracked your time of how long it took for you to do something. So like I got told like, hey, you need to hurry
Jeez.
up. Like you're behind on what like the average should be or what you should be doing. And I just thought, which I thought was crazy because like you're relying on like there's other people in the way, and you're trying to find a spot anywhere in these shelves, and
Mm.
like these are heavy boxes. These are when they say like you have to have a minimum carrying a weight of like 60 pounds. Anyways, all that be said, I remember that was probably the worst thing I've ever experienced.
Jeez.
And I thought I only did it for a day because I was like I need to have some quick money before I start my real job, and
Hmm.
and it just didn't. I couldn't do it. It was absolutely the worst thing ever. So I don't know how I feel about Amazon. I think I was trying to go on a small, like little anti-Amazon. Um, what's the word for that when you uh
The movement?
no,
Boycott, boycott.
boycott. There we go.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
small. It was like a small
Well,
Amazon boycott, and then I
I
realized
hey,
like Amazon runs everything.
I probably I don't empathize with that, so I mean, on their side, I empathize with you for that day you had,
Yeah,
but yeah, that's probably what it is. I mean, hey, if we it that sucks when big companies, like, feel the need to, like, track people or micromanage or
yeah,
restrict bathroom uses, like, people are gonna quit, like, you're not gonna have people there.
yeah. And I think that I definitely feel like, all right, I get it. It's an easy like for people who really need jobs, right? Like it is a job,
Yeah.
but I don't think that people should be treated that way, you know?
Of course not.
And I think it was harder for me, obviously. I mean, that's not obviously, but it's a little bit harder for me because I feel like I went to school and stuff. And so, like, I have a degree. So, like, what am I doing here?
Mhm.
Like, having
The
to,
that's
having
the
to go through
question that
that.
you ask yourself every year every
Yeah.
so, "What am I doing here?"
Yeah. It's exactly what happened. By lunch. And it was like, it was I think it was like 6 a.m. or no. I had to get there at 5 a.m. And
Jeez.
then I had to leave, I think close to like 7 p.m. It was like a 14-hour shift that I was working. And then like next one would be like 12 hours and then like 14 hours.
Wow.
And like it was like weird the way they had it set up like that. But I had to be there so early in the morning and there was no, you had your lunch and you had your break and your everybody goes on break in the exact same time. So there is no like, oh, I'm gonna go take my break or like
Yeah.
your break starts at this time regardless if you take it or not. So,
Jeez.
and I remember like some people who were trying to like work a little bit. So I don't know, right? You try to show you're a hard worker, and other people like who were there for a while was like, you might as well like stop as soon as like the time starts because you're not getting any extra time. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because I know obviously Bezos doesn't have all that money in liquid. It's not like he has all these billions in just his
Yeah.
bank
Yeah.
account. He has in assets and stuff. But I do think that with all the things that he's doing or all the things that he's buying, some of these things can probably be improved a little bit. Um,
Oh, yeah,
you
100%.
know, and I guess maybe I would like to see like how much are you losing if someone takes a little bit longer to go to the restroom or.
Yeah. I mean, like, at this point, like, even if your profit per item goes down a bit, he's selling like, that's where volume comes in, right? Like, that
Yeah,
you're selling the amount of things you're selling, the amount of online purchases that Amazon accounts for, like, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
do what's right. Same thing with Walmart.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
The only reason Walmart could have Oreos on sale and can offer Oreos for less, a cheaper price than your deli or your convenience stores because they sell so many Oreos, for example. So
yeah. No, I agree with you. So yeah, in terms of the billionaires, I'm
Mhm.
not entirely sure how I feel because I feel like I've been in all the positions in between, and obviously I haven't gotten there up where the people are
Yeah,
getting paid a gang load, but I do think that sometimes for the people got to get exploited for people that have a lot of money like that and that amount. I feel like you can still make a lot of. I mean, obviously, right? There's a lot of people who make a lot of money, but I think
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I would want to see the math on that, but yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, I mean, I'm trying to think of someone who probably didn't use exploited products or like
yeah.
even like people think it's just working conditions, but even
Well,
like Nike building
yeah.
shoes in poor factories across like even that is exploitative, right? So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think once you get to like a certain point, like you sort of start adopting these things. And that's just how things are done.
yeah,
Um, and I think that in a way, yeah, you're getting paid, however much Amazon is paying, but then you know, it's the work is kind of hard. And I
yeah,
think
of course.
all I'm saying is like, you know, I mean, that's why unions were made, right? That's where unions are created to.
No, and that's a dying thing. That's not really happening anymore.
Exactly. So, and yeah, whenever a job is or hears about unionizing, it's already like everybody's fired,
Hmm.
type of situation. So, I don't know. I don't know about them. I
Yeah,
do know that I feel bad. Like I said, I only last a day, so I'm not trying to putting myself too much. It wasn't like I was there for a long time. I went there. I did what I had to do. I went to the orientation, I guess, which was like a few hours. But then, like my real day when I went in there, I did what I had to do. I came out, you know, sweating. My whole body was like cramping from like all the muscles I hadn't used before, having to like
Jeez.
lift all these like boxes and yeah. I just like I remember it was like I was exhausted and I was like dehydrated and like going and getting water is not a thing either, you know. So it's kind of confusing. Like, what do you do? You know, and then they
Yeah,
have
I
like
mean
no,
that's who would last there? I mean, I would. There's also
yeah,
like, even if you don't have the degree, I mean, I guess it depends the town where you're at, but there are other warehouse or factory jobs that have better conditions than that.
yeah, and that's why I started thinking. I was like, a lot of them are starting to rival what Amazon is doing, you know, but they're offering a better work balance, I guess, work life balance.
Yeah, of
Or
course.
so and yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, there's no way that you can really boycott Amazon. There are too many people use it. It provides like a big purpose for people, like spending. I guess if people want to spend money on things, Amazon
Yeah.
is there, and so I think that
Yeah, I mean, that's the flip side of it, right? It's like some people say, well, you can't create that much. Some people, a lot of people are anti-rich because first wealth inequality, but also B because of what you were saying about exploiting people. But then
yeah,
the flip side is you wouldn't be that successful if the service or the product you offered wasn't like super
yeah,
helpful or essential for people. Like iPhones,
which I agree. Like I think that at the end of the day, right? Like these people have money because so many people want whatever it is that they're selling or whatever it is that I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? Everybody's selling something. Whether that be like
right.
housing or you're selling this, you're selling that. And so,
Yeah.
and also, I mean, in the United States, we are capitalistic. Is that a word capitalistic? Everybody has to fact check me on that one.
I don't know if that's the word, but we
um,
are a capitalist
yeah,
nation.
we are a capitalist nation. We focus on that. So now I'm not saying I'm anti-rich. I'm not even like communist or anything where I'm like, oh, we need to be all be equal. And I think that those things are just that's how it is. And obviously I would like to have money and acquire money, in the future. But I think that just it kind of sucks that those type of things exist, you know.
Well, yeah, because then it makes us feel like we need to decide between doing the right thing and making a successful business, right? Or
Yeah.
creating a business, right? So then it makes us feel like that you can't have both, but you can have both. And there are companies that do the right thing, but they're just
Mm,
not the most successful companies in the world. So
yeah. And so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Amazon's making money, and a lot of people are complaining, but there's a lot of people who are not complaining and who are like thankful that they have that job, you know. And so
yeah. I mean, yeah, those people are also, those people still should be upset, but
yeah,
they
yeah, well, I agree. I'm not saying
they're
that 'cause they don't
they're
know
more
about it.
positive. They have more willpower than most of us.
Yeah,
So
I was looking around saying, aren't y'all guys upset?
he said he was about to start his own union on day one.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what are you guys doing? Why are we allowing this?
He's about
He
to get a
said, "Yeah,
ticket for
watch out for that one." Secretly
you gotta watch
got
out for that one. That's why they were tracking you. They didn't want to give you a break so you
yeah,
could
yeah, they
make it
did. They
back.
said he's talking too much. He's like, spreading too many ideas. We
Yeah.
who let him through. Uh, I don't know. I think it was funny.
And
Well,
so, how was so tell me about your July 4th.
yeah. So Fourth of July. I mentioned last time we went to go get fireworks and everything with that. We actually went back. We went back to get more fireworks, uh,
Oh,
because I was hyping my dad up. I was also trying to get Psycho John to spend the money that he owed me on the
the
fireworks
money that
tonight.
he owed you.
So we went. Well, yeah. So we went back to get more fireworks, and
Yeah.
which was cool. He was still kind of like we had to go back and forth just for him to get like five more fireworks. But um, regardless, we got more fireworks, and so we went to my aunt's house to go pop these fireworks in Grand Prairie.
Nice.
And like I had mentioned before, that this was a new environment for me. This was like experiencing popping fireworks from my dad's side of the family was sort of a new thing. Um, and so I quickly learned that not everybody is as fully pro. No one's pro at it like the way I am. But then yeah, I've been doing it for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if I'm 24, I've been doing it for a lot of years since my dad took me for the little ones, and now I'm up to these bigger ones. And like I said, I've gradually gone up.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of my cousins and stuff, they're new to it, so they don't really understand at the end of the day like how dangerous popping fireworks can be.
Yeah.
And I think
For
that's
sure.
something that I forget. I play around about it, but I think I don't ever explain like the severity or like the seriousness of dealing with fireworks, because at the end of the day they are explosives.
Yeah, of course.
They're
It's
like,
I've never popped fireworks myself.
yeah, they're if you don't know, if you really don't know how to like pop fireworks or like what to do, and I'm not saying like, oh, there's all these rules, but it's like I mean, I'm talking about like being smart about it, like being aware that what the fireworks can do, I think is the biggest thing. I think that for my cousins and stuff, they don't understand that sometimes you're gonna have a firework that doesn't go off, right? It's like
Mhm.
it'll be a dud. Sometimes you'll have a firework that the thing won't shoot all the way up. It's gonna hit like halfway, and you like there's a bunch of like things that you're not aware of. Sometimes you light it up and it's gonna pop right there before you even turn around. And
Jeez.
so, like as I said before, like there's always been some type of incident that happens every year that I've had the
Oh,
fireworks.
no. Oh, no, not
So
your little cousin. Oh,
no,
no.
so, well, my little cousins, I say little cousins, but they're a little bit older now, right? They're like 18. They're
Oh,
Adam's age. So like my little cousins are not so super little anymore.
yeah.
Now I do have two cousins that are my aunt's husband, which is the cop, right?
Right.
Now he has two kids. Now they all look like they're corn-fed kids, right? Even when they're
Well,
born, they're looking
you're
corn-fed.
gonna have to elaborate on that. You mean they're yolk?
Corn-fed, yeah. Corn-fed means like they're like big, they're brolic
Yeah, like they can
kids.
be offensive linemen in high school type of
Yeah, except
thing.
yeah, exactly. Well, so they just look like they're strong, tall, Aryan people. Um,
Aaron.
well, the youngest one, I think he's about 12. I don't know the exact ages. I think he's like 12, but he's taller than I am. He's already like
Jeez.
five, maybe what? I'm like 5'8" and a half. I'm 5'8", 5'8" and a half. So he's like at least 5'10", 5'11". Like he's tall
Wow.
already. And this
Yeah.
kid's 12, and he still has like he's still growing. Like he says like every week that his like he's or like, every so many months, like he's still having to get like new shoes because he's just growing and growing and growing. So
What I
just
would have give what I would give to be 5'8" and a half right now.
well, yeah. Well, the problem is that too is that the problem is that he's tall, right? And he looks like he's older.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've had any experience with that, but like for people who look like this, but mentally they're not there, right? That's still a little kid in
Oh,
that,
right,
in that
right.
kid's body, right? I wasn't that height when I was 12. I was still I looked like a little kid.
Yeah.
And so even though I thought I looked older, well, he looks older, but he's still a little kid. But
Right.
because he looks older, people, tell him how much he looks older, and so he feels like he can act older, But there's
Right,
still
right.
those little immature things or those little things that it's like that's a little kid right there. Like he isn't in his head. He has no like, oh, I should do this or I should do that.
Right, right.
And so because
The
he's just
decision
not
making process
yeah,
isn't
like
the sharpest yet.
it's just not developed yet. Like he's just at the end of the day, he's just not developed all the way he needs to be. He still has
Right.
some time to go. Just to give you some background on who we're working with, right? And he has a younger brother who's even worse. This kid is looks like he's on crack all the time.
Jeez.
He just like I remember this. I know he was crazy. We were eating at a restaurant and he went to his brother, right? His brother. Now this is his name is Jet. The oldest one, his name is Jet, and the other one's name is Ezra, and their last name is Logan. So just to give you an example of what these kids are, so you guys
He's
can
just
have
giving
a,
out
a, a
full
picture.
government names on the
So he
on a
has a,
podcast.
a picture painted. Well, this how I know this little kid was psycho is that he went and grabbed. Uh, he saw that the older brother, ordered a drink, and so he started freaking out because he knew that he had sugar. He had like a Coke or something. So I saw him already running over there, and I said, "Look at this psycho! He's coming over here to have some of that Coke." And I was like, I could tell he was excited. And so he tried taking the drink, and so the brother was like, "Get like, what are you doing? Get away from me!" And he grabbed it, his hand into the glass to hold it like this. So, for example, I have a cup here. This is the cup. Oh, okay. Well, he grabs the cup with his hand inside of it like this.
Mhm.
That's how you know you're like fingers all in the drink. Is trying to like grab it like that. Who
Ugh.
grab? A normal person would grab it like this, but he just stuck his hand in there trying to rip it out just to get whatever sugar he could. That's who we're working with, right, around these fireworks. So uh,
Gotcha.
I got a little upset this past Sunday or Monday. Sunday, yeah, Sunday is when we pop fireworks. Because we had a gang load of fireworks, right? But also
Yeah.
it's not my house, so I'm trying to be as respectful as I can. I don't want to just be doing things without the permission of whoever lives there, which is my aunt. And so I don't want to say I'm just gonna pop them over
Yeah.
here. I'm gonna do that. And of course I'm trying to be safe with it too. And so I'm trying to tell my dad because I feel like Psycho John, like all of a sudden we had discussed this. We had discussed what we were gonna do, and Psycho John was switching it up on me. And I hate when people switch it up on me. I swear that's like one of my pet peeves. I get so angry, and I felt like he was switching it up on me, and I was already getting upset. I was already triggered because he was he was
Well, because he had already switched it up at you,
yes,
switched it
yes,
up
with
on
the
you at the
fireworks.
store.
Yes, we had discussed this like a few times before this 4th of July about what the plan was,
Mhm.
how we're gonna light these fireworks, everything. And he was like already changed it up because he wants to give everybody a show. I was like, we had just
Mhm.
described how that wasn't gonna give everybody a show like that. Like, we're gonna light them the way that we need to light them. But then his reasoning is that he felt like if the cops were gonna come, that we should just light up all our big ones already to get them out of the way so the cops can't take those. I was like, no, why would we do that? No cops are coming. If they are, we're gonna hide the fireworks. It's not a big deal. Well, anyways, so I explained to these little kids about what they should be doing, and no one was really listening to me. And they
Mhm.
put this one box of they're called Saturn missiles, and these little small things that shoot up in the air, right? They're just very small, but they shoot up in the air and then they make a little pa pa sound, right? They explode. Well, um, I have experience with these, right? These are one of these like the cheaper boxes. And as
Mhm.
I've gotten older, I've started navigating away from the sort of the cheaper fireworks because at the end of the day, these fireworks, you get what you pay for, right? And so
Mhm.
there's a reason why they're $2, $1. Like, yeah, they're a little fun, but they also are those are the ones that are definitely unreliable.
Yeah.
And these Saturn missiles, they'll say like 25 shot, 50 shot, like Saturn missiles. Never in my life have I counted each shot since I've lit in one of those, right? And we light them a bunch of times. I haven't like maybe last 2 times I haven't bought them, but
Yeah.
they say 25, and you're never going to count 25. You're going to count like 14, and so it makes you think like what happened. Well, what's going to happen? To the other 11? Like
Yeah.
shouldn't they come up already? And so that's what he lit up. He lit up like a 50 pack one, right? Which is like it was like a little, few dollars more, but you get more shots, obviously, right? You're getting like 50. It was either 50 or 75 because it went on for a while. So he went, but he lit it right in front of everybody. Everybody was, if I can sort of describe to you, right? Like if
The
this was the patio area,
Mhm.
right? This was the house border right here, patio area, and then over here was the yard. So we're popping them over here so that if anything happens, you sort of have a barrier, right? This is the barrier where the fireworks are at. We're popping over here. Everybody's down here in this little cove area. So that if a
Mhm.
firework obviously explodes, right, it's going to hit the house, but it's not really going to hit anybody. It's going to bounce
Mhm.
this way. Well, he put it right in front of everybody, and that was kind of confusing. I'll have to draw that one out. But
Mhm.
he decided to pop it like right in front of everybody,
Yeah.
and that's what made me upset because these fireworks started going off, and then they started coming towards us, the little missiles. And when the missiles did shoot, and it went like got my mom and a few people. I think it was like two or three. They shot towards them, and like my mom had like the of course like the firework burn, right? Which is she shoot, like I guess it was like a first for her to like experience that. And so for people who don't know, like a firework burn is kind of different because it was like a literal explosion that happened
Yeah.
on your near your back or wherever it hits you, right? Most of the time it's on your back because whenever something happens, you kind of like move yourself, right, to defend yourself. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's like it's a small burn, but it burns hot because it's a really you know isolated explosion.
Yeah.
So a few people got hurt like that, and I think that's what made me kind of upset because I had already been like almost like mother hen, right? In a way,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
trying to tell
well,
people stuff.
that was reckless on their part. So of course you're
And
upset. Yeah.
and so I was telling my dad and like my cousin's dad, which is Brian, he was there and he was like, you need to tell him. So I got mad. I was like, I've been telling him, but also like it shouldn't be my job, right? Like I'm here trying to enjoy the fireworks too. I keep telling him I shouldn't have to be telling you multiple times,
Yeah.
right? And so I was like, I'm done. I'm not lining no more. Obviously, I lit more right after that, but I wasn't the one. I was having other people sort of go and light the fireworks for me, and so I'd
Yeah.
have Adam go and stuff like that. So
Mm.
overall, the fireworks I got were pretty cool,
Nice.
but that little incident right there kind of upset me because other people were starting to get hurt, and it's
Yeah, of
like
course.
it could have been avoided. And so that's why I think that the fact that there was like no repercussions, and I think I grew up where there was consequences for a lot of things, and I think times have changed. Maybe I can get your opinion on that. Like I don't know if you noticed that a little bit, maybe with your parents, but I guess you're the youngest, right? You and your sister are the youngest ones. Uh,
Yeah, so I'm the youngest, so I haven't really been exposed to how my parents' parenting style has changed.
yeah,
I mean, I mean, they're grandparents now, so
yeah,
I've seen them with my, but they're toddlers, so they're super young,
yeah.
but
Well, like
I'm sure they'd be more relaxed now though.
yeah, like for me, I definitely grew up way differently with Psycho John than and there's a reason why we call him Psycho John, right? Not just because
Yeah.
these little things, but he was literally Psycho John for like the majority of my life, right? Until he kind
Yeah.
of changed. He had his like come to Jesus moment. But but like my parents in general, and I think I had saw, Gary V, like the speaker
Yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk.
yeah, and well, I know he had spoke to someone about that because his older brother came in and said like he thought his younger brother was soft, and because he didn't have to experience all that stuff. And I think Gary Vee was like basically telling him to not really focus on those things because that that's life, right? Like you grew up and your parents didn't have as much money or have as much resources or time as they did with as the younger ones they did
Right.
because that's just natural as time progresses. Like you're gonna advance a little bit, or you're gonna have more time for these things, or be able
Or
to
or
invest your
or
time.
you're more tired or your
Or
back hurts.
yeah, yeah. So well, I guess it depends. But I've noticed like with my brother that my parents have been a little bit more lenient. And I
Yeah.
guess maybe that's just not my parents, but maybe my whole dad's side of the family. Like as everybody's gotten older, they've gotten a little bit more lenient with the kids and a little bit more,
Yeah.
you know, like no one really wants to get mad at other kids. And I grew up where like you're getting hit right there and then, like you're
Yeah.
getting in trouble. So I guess in those senses, I was a little upset because I wanted some type of justice or like
Sort of justice.
I wanted someone to say, hey, like tell these little kids to stop, but
Yeah.
nothing like that happened. Everybody was totally fine. So I mean, it's fine, right? Like I said, it's a
Well,
learning process.
it's also frustrating because if you don't, I mean, if, you don't even have to punish them the same way. But even if, but let's say, like I've seen it where they just carry on and they don't even like reprimand them or anything, and and then
Yeah.
you're frustrated, or anyone who's
Oh, looks like you cut out.
there who are a different way, but how are they supposed to learn?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, the whole thing is like, well, how are they supposed to? How are they gonna know now that they shouldn't do what they just
Yeah.
did? So that's the
I
frustrating
think
part.
I think that was the biggest thing for me. So I'm not for everybody who's listening, I'm not like oh you didn't get yours and I got mine. Like I just felt like and then they weren't my kids, but I felt like, hey, tell somebody tell somebody something. We don't want this happening again. Like take it seriously.
Yeah,
'Cause I
yeah,
think
exactly.
some people think it's funny, but it's not funny until you get hit. Once you get hurt, then you're gonna realize, then you're gonna start saying like, "Oh, I'm scared of pop fireworks." My thing is I've
I
experienced
thought you were gonna say
like
I thought you were gonna say like an analogy or something, and then you go, "It's not funny till you get hit." And I said, "Oh, okay, just real quick."
yeah. No, no, no. I think that no one there has experienced they haven't experienced that stress and the anxiety of you doing something
Mhm.
and so it's I don't know. Anyway, so that was my 4th of
Yeah.
July. It was still fun overall. A lot of food. which is I was struggling to think about what I was gonna bring because I had to pay my $20 entry fee as I discussed in the last one. Which I didn't.
What did you bring?
I actually made a cake. I made a ooey gooey butter cake. Have you ever had that? I don't know why it's called ooey gooey butter
Nope.
cake,
Can't say I
but
have. I feel
there,
like I can picture it. Is that like tan or yellow?
yeah, it's like yellow. Yeah, well, because you think of butter.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, there's a place here in Dallas, near downtown, like Design District, and it's called The Porch. And my mom, since she works in downtown, she works sort of in that corporate world. She's been to all those restaurants there in
mhm.
downtown Dallas. And so I remember she took me one day, and it was
Nice.
like I remember looking at the prices, thinking like, "Whoa, this is crazy." But this is what she just has for lunch every day. She don't tell nobody. But she had this they're very famous for this cake, and so I found the recipe online to sort of like replicate that. And so that's what I made, and I think it's really good. Only problem is that it's I think if you don't have diabetes, it's you get close to every time you eat it, you get close to having it.
Jesus Christ.
Because I put at least 16 tablespoons of butter, so that's 2 sticks. If you think about it, 2 sticks of butter go into this recipe, and 4 cups of powdered sugar. So uh, that's a
4
lot.
cups of powdered
Yeah, not
sugar.
like 4 half cups, four
Wow.
quarter cups. Like this is 4 full cups of powdered sugar, and so that I mean, if you've ever seen a cup of powdered sugar, you're already like, dang, that's a lot. And I put four. I put four in this. I put four in melted butter, basically. So that was like the top
Say you
part.
don't you could modify the recipe,
I
You could
thought about
trim
it.
you could tailor it back a little.
I thought about it. I was like, maybe I could do two, but I was like, I'm not gonna ruin it. I didn't really get to try my cake that much. A lot of people ate it, so
Oh,
I
real
basically
real
infected everybody.
convenient that you just didn't get to try
Yeah,
your
I
little
basically
diabetes
well,
cake.
I was aware of what was in it, right? The whole
Jesus
time, the whole
Christ.
time I'm thinking about it. Also, my grandmother was my dad's dad. I'm a good dad's dad. My dad's mom. They're from Mexico. So
Mhm.
um her cooking is there is no like I'm gonna be health conscious or I'm gonna think about how this affects my
No, of
health.
course, yeah.
That doesn't exist at all. Like that's very like being
Yeah.
here, being having those type of ideas. So when she cooks anything, right? She'll cook beans. She'll like do like a whole thing of lard. For people who don't know, it's like pig fat, right? And like, have you ever used lard? I guess me, you guys cooking a little bit different, right? But she'll like
I think
fry things.
the only time I had lard was when I went to Cracker Barrel in Pennsylvania.
Well, yeah. Well, she like cooks things like that. She'll cook bacon like stuff, and there's like lard, which is like pig fat. Like, and she'll use a bunch of it, and like she'll use the oil from one thing to cook like these. Like when she cooks eggs, like she's putting so much oil in the pan, and it's like it's almost like you look at it,
Yeah.
and for me at least, right? Like it's kind of scary to see things like that. That's a lot, and so she likes
Yeah.
making these drinks, and we call them awas. I don't know what you guys might call them, but here, like in at least in Dallas Mexican community, I think Mexico too, we call them like they're called aguas frescas, right? Which is you would think
Mhm.
it's just like fresh water, but there's like different
Mhm.
drinks. Um, and they have like you'll have watermelon, you'll have lime. Anyways, well, she made a watermelon one, and
Nice.
I took a sip of one, and I told my dad, "This is pure sugar." It was pure sugar
He
water that she threw watermelon into it
Mhm.
because I told him there's too much. He's like, "You're not gonna have some." I was like, "I can't." I was like, "Don't you taste it?" He's, "It's good." And this is Psycho John, right? He goes, "Yeah, it tastes good." I'm
Oh,
like,
it's
"Yeah,
good.
yeah, obviously it's good. You're just having sugar water with watermelon in it." So I
Jeez.
didn't part. So a lot of people partook in all those things. I didn't really because I was sort of aware of what my cake had already in it, and I was gonna
Well,
add that.
now I know that whenever I go to a potluck, I should look out for the person who brings something that isn't eating the food they brought. So,
Yeah, yeah.
it's an
And then
indicator. It's like when you go to restaurants or fast food restaurants and you see a coworker or an employee on break and you're like, if they're not eating the restaurant's food, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, I think definitely that is. Also, you when it comes to potlucks, I try not to think about it, but like everybody's cooking at home, right? They're cooking their dish at home, and it's like, what are they
Yeah.
doing?
I
What are
try
they
to be
doing when they're
optimistic
making that
about it
dish?
that most people would be conscious about it, but who
Yeah,
knows?
like they have their dogs and they're doing like pin their dogs and they're like mixing stuff, marinating meat. I don't know what they're doing, right?
Oh, wow.
So I just think I had deer meat for the first time.
Oh,
which
venison.
I had venison for the first time, and the way that it was prepared, it tastes tastes pretty good. It was like on kebabs with like bell pepper and stuff, and it tasted pretty good. It tasted like if I was having regular meat, but part of me in my head, I'm telling you, was freaking out. I was coming back to like the sushi place, and like I was starting to sweat a little bit, and my stomach
Oh
was very.
no.
I was like, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up right now, thinking that there was like tainted meat or something. Because the way it was described to me, like this meat was from like the back of the neck or something. So
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know where it came from. It tasted all right. It tasted good, but I think part of my mind started freaking out about that.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, overall everything's fine. I won't eat my mom's food sometimes because I know the way she cooks, and she's one of those people that will like she'll like, let's say she's mixing up something, she'll
Mhm.
like put her finger on there, lick it, and then like put her finger back in there to get another one, and like or mix it around like that. Adam's seen her do. I've seen her do it like maybe once. Adam says she does all the time, and
Yeah.
Adam gets upset. He never
She
eats her food.
double dips the licked finger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. It's a
So
problem. It's a lot of people do that. It's interesting.
yeah,
I try not to think about it, or I try to think of, oh, whatever they were doing in the prepping stage, it's fine because the heat kills. So the
yeah,
heat will the cooking stage, the
yeah,
bacteria will get killed off, but who knows?
yeah, yeah. I guess who knows. So, but yeah, that was 4th of July.
Nice.
Nothing too too big except people not listening and I don't know.
Yeah.
Adam, I don't know if Adam wants probably doesn't want me to tell him, but
Mm,
I'll tell everybody for the cast. My brother Adam has a girlfriend now,
nice.
which is for me it's a little weird to see,
Mm,
because that's my younger brother, but he brought her to this function which I didn't think he was gonna do,
ooh.
but he brought her to this function, so uh, it felt weird because like the other cousin, he's like Adam's age, he brought his girlfriend, and
Mhm.
then my older cousin brought his girlfriend, and then I brought Lindsay. So it just felt kind of weird. All these like girls that I didn't know who were here, for the family. But yeah. Anyways, well, so what about you though? I saw that you, besides in the game, you had other people with you at the game, besides you, Emma,
Yeah,
right?
it was a group of 8 of us. So it was, my girlfriend, a group of her, two of her, or a high school friend of hers, and her roommate. Then it was, Casey, which is a college friend, and her boyfriend, and then it was, a few other people. I forget. It was, Ken and Preeti, who are also, Dickinson college
Mm,
friends of ours. So it was 8 of us total. Giuliani, who's a fraternity brother, popped in to say hello because he happened to be at the game.
yeah,
Gotta love New York. But yeah, it was a group of 8 of us. We had a blast. Um, Great seats, which we got for free because of Casey had some family connections, which is unbelievable. So these
really,
are like $150+ tickets that we got 8 of them
really.
for free.
How?
I mean,
Is it two on the side? Is it two on the?
no, I think
Yeah, no.
what happens a lot in New York, especially in baseball, which I've seen happen more than in other sports, is
Yeah,
like corporate deals. So a lot of like big banks or a lot of like even small
yeah,
businesses, they'll get a lot of deals. And so he was able to finesse it.
yeah.
Um, and we
That
got
makes
these tickets for free, which is an amazing deal.
yeah,
Um, and it was good. It was good to interact with fans. It was a Mets fan in Yankee Stadium, so it was good to
yeah.
boo the fans and kind of get in their nerves a little bit. So it was fun.
Yeah, that is cool. I've like I said, my mom works. She's an accountant for commercial real estate, and so
Yeah.
they have like little deals like that and too. And I think one time I was able to sit behind like home plate for a Rangers game. I think they lost, but Rangers not that good. They're not the best, but
No.
it was still
Yeah.
fun. It was still fun being there and going.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
I might actually. I saw that there's tickets right now for Monday Night Raw, WWE, American Airlines Center. So I was thinking, like,
Wow.
screw it. I'm not even a wrestling fan, but who knows? Maybe I'm gonna go check it out.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've never done that. Growing up, I used to think that was the coolest. Like, whoa, who makes it out there? But then little by little, you started realizing, well, that's when I thought it was real. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
But
yeah, and
then
then
I thought it was live, and it's not live, and so that really bugged me. Like, it's not filmed. Like, you wouldn't go on a Monday for Monday Night Raw, for example.
well, I'm going on a Monday for Monday Night Raw. Well, this is on a Monday.
That's
I'm
not
not
usually
entirely
the.
sure. I'm not
Yeah, I don't
entirely
know.
sure.
That's not usually the case. So
I
a lot
don't.
of
Yeah, I
times,
don't think it's usually like that. I think it's filmed before, like you said. It's filmed. a different day, and they just have it on Mondays.
Yeah, it'll be
It
like
should-
Saturday. You'll go at like
yeah,
Saturday at 4 p.m. and that also just ruined the whole image for me. And I'm like, wait,
yeah.
what? It's not Monday night? Like, what are you
I
talking about?
think I think maybe this is like, I don't know if it's like a coming back. I don't know what exactly it is, but it's American Airlines Center, and it's Monday at 6:30 for
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw. So I've never
Hey,
been to this.
I'm so one of my goals for 2021 is visit 2 new cities.
Okay,
I don't know if you knew that, but I posted on Instagram. But one of my goals is to visit 2 new cities this year.
okay.
Um, and I'm considering Texas, man. I don't know.
Oh, are you trying to go to Austin, or are you trying to come to Dallas?
I don't
I would
know.
say,
It'd probably be one of those two.
yeah.
I'd have to figure out which ones have more like interesting things to do. How far away is it? 4 hours? What is it?
Well, I feel like there's like big three, right? There's Dallas, there's Austin, there's Houston.
I'm not that interested in Houston, but Houston,
Houston
no, it's
does
not so
have
far.
Houston does have like the boardwalk, and they have like the space NASA, like the space station, and not
Oh
space station,
yeah.
but like stuff like that.
Wait, the
But
boardwalk with what?
well, the boardwalk, they have like a little mini boardwalk because I think Houston is like near the Gulf,
Oh.
Mexico, right? Like they're near like a body of water.
Well, the Gulf of Mexico was on fire like 2 days ago,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
I could skip Houston.
But I think Houston's a little dirty and they're humid. It's
Well,
very
it's
humid,
big.
very
Yeah,
humid.
it's big, and I'd rather go to like more authentic Texas and
And
Central Texas.
and so I think, I mean, obviously Austin's nice, but Austin's sort of turning into I mean, I guess you would like Austin. It's turning sort of like into the LA of the South, right? Or LA of Texas, I guess, because
Yeah, I
a
guess it
lot
is.
of companies move into Austin. A lot of like real estate is being developed in Austin right now.
Yeah,
They have Sixth Street, which is sort of like that. It's like when we went to New Orleans, but
yeah, it's
you
like
can't
UT
have alcohol on the
Austin.
streets, huh?
It's like
Yeah,
a
but they have
UT Austin.
UT Austin, so you're gonna have like a lot of like things like that. Where in Dallas, I think is a little bit more um businessy. I
Yeah,
don't know if that's a
yeah,
thing. Like a lot of people here are like the people who work um downtown Dallas, so you have like design districts and things are a little bit
yeah,
more like focused on that. When you go to like bars or you go to restaurants and stuff, it's a little bit more upscaled than you would find. So it just kind
yeah.
of depends. I mean, there's fun things to do in either city, I would
Right.
say. But Austin to Dallas is like 3.5, 4 hours, depends how fast you're going. And you pass through Waco. Um,
Ooh,
and
what am I
so
going to a Baylor Bears game?
you said what?
What am
At
I
Baylor
going to a
Bear?
college football game? I probably should plan it around the football season if I'm gonna go to
Yeah.
Texas.
Well, yeah. Would you bring Emma? Or would you come by yourself?
Well, I don't know. It depends what the schedule permits. It
Yeah.
depends if she wants to. I don't know, but she'd
Yeah.
probably be down.
Well, like I said, if you do, I am not living with my parents. I'm actually living with Lindsay.
Nice.
And we live here in this house it's in Irving, Texas, which is not that far from Dallas. Um, it's Dallas County, right? Like I said, Dallas is big. It's still Dallas County. I can't get out of Dallas that quick. But
Mm.
anyways, but yeah, I mean, if you ever wanted to come down, it's a 3-bedroom house, so you wouldn't have to worry about, you know,
That's
uh,
huge. It's only you two.
yeah, it's just us and a dog.
That's awesome.
That
What kind
Taco
of
dog.
what breed is the dog? Oh, that's
Yeah,
the
she's the mutt. She's the Labrador boxer mix.
yeah,
But
she's the one you guys drove with. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the one which I don't know if I told the story because it might have gotten deleted that first time, but
Fat neck.
yeah, she's getting bigger. She's definitely getting bigger. I don't help. You know what? This is actually we got a story. I do have a little bit of story before we sort of end here. Is that
Yeah.
we went to Whataburger when we went to go get these fireworks, these extra fireworks, and
When you say water burger, you mean what a burger, right?
yes. Yeah, so
That-
I noticed that's a thing too, is that like Lindsay comes, she'll call it Whataburger like that. I don't That's, I guess, a lot of people who are not from Texas who don't have Whataburgers like to call it different. But here, uh I've grown up, anybody is gonna say you want to go to Whataburger, and no one says Whataburger. They say Whataburger. Like almost like you're saying water, but if you say it right, it's not water.
right.
Anyways, so we went to Whataburger, and I think Whataburger is always like, they always try to compare it's like In and Out. That's like the In and Out for Texas.
Mhm.
I think they're two different things, honestly. I think they really can be, and I say that because I prefer In and Out. And that's only I've only had the Texas In and Out, right? I haven't had the California In and Out. But
I didn't like In-N-Out that much. We have Shake Shack, but I prefer a potato bun. With that style of burger, I prefer a potato
oh,
bun. So that's why I
okay.
like Shake Shack.
Yeah, I think that Whataburger is good because it's. I mean, you're gonna get. It's gonna be a good burger, but I don't. What I don't like about Whataburger is that they're not consistent in terms of. Some
That's
locations
the
are gonna be
worst.
different, and so I
Yeah.
don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, right? That you can't like
It's always a bad thing.
that you can't that you can't replicate it every single time. But
Yeah.
anyways, we went to Whataburger, and so to go get these fireworks, we're we're out in the country a little bit. We're starting to get to the country part of Texas, and so this is the part where you're really a little bit scared about, is it okay for me to be here? But so we
Mhm.
got off of this Whataburger, and in this Whataburger, we had I gotta give my props. My mom's the one who sort of ordered for everybody. We kind of sat down so we kind of get out of the way because it was packed when we got there. I was like, what's everybody doing here right now? And obviously Psycho John's getting a little upset because there's so many people. But she went to go order and she ordered the burgers all come with mustard automatically, but she ordered
Mm.
mayonnaise for all these burgers. Well, they come with all the burgers and they all have mustard on them. So we open them up, they have mustard on them. So mom's like, no, she gets mad. She's like, put them back on the tray. I'm like, no, it's fine. Like I just eat it with the mustard, right?
Mhm.
That's how me and my brother are. My dad's, I guess he already knows, like that's how she is. So we had to throw all our burgers back in this tray so she go take it back to them, let them know that she asked for mayonnaise. Well, they said that they told her they couldn't, take them back. They really don't take them back anymore. They just throw them away, right? So basically, they don't accept them. So either you throw them away or I don't know, right? I guess they assume that you're gonna throw them away. So mom was okay. So she brought the tray back and with the burgers, and we're waiting. So we're waiting for the mayonnaise ones, and my dad's eyeing those burgers. Oh, the whole time we're eating there. My mom's talking, and he's eyeing those burgers, and so he goes and he says that he gives like trying to tell everybody this is Psycho John. So he's trying to convince everybody to go get a bag for him. I'm like, I'm not gonna get a bag. I don't want the burgers. You get the bag, right? If you want the burgers so bad.
Wow, you're the worst
Yeah,
wingman.
so he goes, you see him, I see him get up, right? He needs to go like get more drink. And he's so annoying because when he goes to get more something to drink, he fills it like to this much. Like if you have a cup, he only wants to get
Yeah.
like just a little bit, and then he'll keep doing that. It's like, why don't you just fill it up a little bit more? But he
That's
just
the worst.
he just fills up a little bit. So he goes and fills up a little bit. You hear the machine just go, "Zzzz," and that was it, right? And he just like looks mad sus. He's just like loitering right there in the middle of the thing. And he sees where this, I guess his employee was sitting and she had like bags there. And so he tried to steal a bag and then he got caught by her trying to steal a bag. And I'm seeing this right from sitting
Mhm.
in the back of the place, which is another thing. I'm not a big fan of eating in fast food places. I think I'm there and I don't know why that's a
Mhm.
thing for me. I'm just like, where am I right now that I'm sitting in this Whataburger, eating this
What
food?
am I
But anyway,
doing here?
yeah. So he tries to steal a bag. He gets confronted by a lady, asks for a bag, which I'm surprised my dad doesn't do stuff like that. But he must have
Mhm.
really wanted those burgers, which I don't understand, because he came back, and so he has the bag, and so starts telling me now it's my turn for the scheme to like, and the reason why is because like we were a little bit nervous about trying to like take these burgers, right? Because we just got 4 whole burgers, so I'm like, all right, so the assumption is we're gonna throw away these 4, right? But we all feel guilty because obviously we feel like, oh, we're stealing these burgers because we were okay with them with mustard,
Yeah.
right? And so now we're about to take them again. And
Yeah.
so he's like wanting me to transfer the burgers over. And I don't know why it was the funniest thing ever because there wasn't that many people now in this Whataburger. A lot of them had left, and so the workers are there
Mhm.
starting to clean up out in the house and stuff. So I'm watching them, and my mom's talking, and she's talking about I don't know what. Honestly, I don't know what because no one's really listening to her because I'm like just I'm not really listening to her. I'm acting like I am, but I'm focusing on the other lady to see if she's looking at me. And
Mhm.
so the tray's on this other seat next to me, so I'm slowly grabbing the burgers, and I'm like just looking, and then I'm laughing, and I'm like throwing a burger right there to my dad. Then he's packing it up in the little sack, and the whole time we're laughing because uh I had to do that 4 times, right? For all 4 burgers. And so he's
Jeez.
excited. So then he wants to leave. He's waiting for like when another family comes in and they're preoccupied with them so that we can leave with all these burgers, right? Because obviously we all finished our meal. So
Yeah.
they're gonna think like, how'd you walk out with 4 burgers? Um, so he's waiting and he sees people are starting to park and get off. So he gets mad at my mom because when she eats, let's say she has one French fry, she'll spend like some time on that one French fry. She'll dip in the ketchup, take a bite, talk, take a little bite of the one French fry.
Yeah.
And I don't know why she does that, but it makes me very angry. It makes me angry as well. Like think the French fry. So he's getting mad because she's taking forever to eat these fries. Everybody's done like 10 minutes ago, and
Yeah.
she's still eating. And so he's like, "Hurry up, finish." He's like getting onto her that this whole plan is about to be ruined because we need to go when the family comes. And
Mhm.
so she's like, "All right, she's done." We get up. He wants me to get in front of him to hide him while he walks out. And so that's what he does. He hides behind me and then he just slips out without anybody noticing. And so and then I throw away the trash and I look outside and he has the bag lift up like Mufasa and he's like excited. And then he looks and there's like a big camera there watching him when he's doing that outside. So I thought it was funny, but the funniest part is like he thought. Then we're like, yes, we have all these burgers, and then he says he doesn't want them. That I can give them to the dog. So I was like, why did we go through this whole ordeal? It was
Yeah.
stressful of stealing these burgers for something you didn't want.
Yeah.
Um, all that to say, yes, I gave the dog a Whataburger patty with cheese, and I'm probably part of the blame for her developing some of the weight that she's having on her body. The other
Wow.
the other half to blame is her because she doesn't like to do anything. She doesn't like to walk.
She's not active.
She loves being inside. And I mean, for background for her, my dog, her name is Benny. It's a girl. We
Nice.
thought she was older when we saw the picture of her. We thought she was geriatric. We thought she was old. We thought like, okay, we're gonna give her like some good years before she passes.
Yeah.
Come to find out, she was just uh, depressed at this lady who's like farming dogs. But anyways, I'll have to discuss that in the next podcast. But so she, so she and we took her to the vet. She's actually like 3 or 4. She's not that old. She just like
Oh
turned
wow.
4, so she's still young. And I was like, well, that makes sense why she has all this energy.
Right.
But yeah, so she lived like in this crate most of her life, in like concrete. Like the lady described that
Ye-
to Lindsay that she was a good dog, but she wasn't there. She wasn't high enough in the rank to be in the inside. So
Okay.
she was outside on concrete in this crate for most of her life, being fed, once a day, water once a day, food once a day. And so obviously, I feel bad for her a little bit, but
Of
now I
course.
realize, she's living her best life and she, sleeps on the couch and she gets fed twice a day. And
Yeah.
before I was messing up because I thought a scoop and a half was one of these, these scoop things we had. I didn't know
Yeah.
it was a cup and a half thing that we had measured.
Oh
So I was
no.
giving her a scoop and a half. And I thought because too she was she has boxer in her. My When I used to have a boxer, he used to like they were so active that he would look thin.
Yeah.
He would look. It doesn't matter what I fed him. You could give him all this food, like food and calorie stuff. It didn't matter. He was going to look thin, and
Right.
it was hard to kind of get him to gain weight. So I assumed, oh, she might be the same because when we got her, her body style was similar. I didn't know that Labradors were gluttons, and they'll eat even when they're not, when they're full. They'll just eat just to eat,
Jeez.
and that's what she does. She likes to eat.
That's
She
like cats.
Yeah, she just eats just to eat, and like you see her, she'll come inside, she's happy, and the first thing she'll do is like sniff the floor and like try to lick it. Like, what is that? Like, did we drop something? It makes me
Yeah.
so angry. Anyways,
So
so yes, so sort of if we wanted to on an ending note here,
yeah.
yeah, if you ever did want to come to Dallas, obviously, if you want to come with Emma and stuff, we do have this. It's a 3-bedroom house. One of these bedrooms is being used right now for my computer setup and things like that for work. But there's another bedroom where I call the day bedroom because it looks nice all day and you just go in there and it's set up, but no one's in there
Right.
except the dog and so
That's
yeah.
lit. All right, cool. So I'll definitely keep you
And,
posted.
and if you wanted to drive to Austin or wherever you want to go to, it's not that far away, and you can stop through Waco and do things.
Yeah, we'll have to plan it around a football game or something.
Yeah. And well, if you I mean like and if you come in the fall, obviously you could come to the Texas Fair, the State Fair of Texas, and experience all that and its charm and the arboretum and there's a bunch of things that are going on in the fall. A lot of
Yeah.
cool things. So
Ooh.
just keep on your radar, just letting you know and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of the fraternity. No, about to send this out to everybody. Anyways,
Mhm.
well, it was good talking to you this week.
Yes, sir. I forgot to bring up that I went to IKEA for the first time ever this past weekend, so
Oh,
I'll
y'all
talk
guys got
about that. I'll
IKEA?
talk about that the next episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I didn't even know y'all had IKEA. I don't know how y'all guys even. Actually, he told me he went to IKEA, and that was like a serious thing. I was like thinking about last night. I was like, How do they like get things from IKEA and move things around?
It was the first time I'd ever been, an
And then,
amazing experience,
yeah,
um, and we'll talk about that in the next episode, so stay tuned.
sounds good. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Once again, let us know what you'd like us to talk about next. And yeah, good talking to you, man.
And here
Yeah, have a
it
good night, everybody.
Good night.
is, our final night alive, as the